See that over there? That's the Bumble from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It used to be standing up, but it lost power. But I have a different theory. I think Thor blasted some lightning on the Bumble, and now he's gone. Of course, it's probably false because Thor only exists in comic books and movies and Norse mythology. It's still a great theory. Thor the Dark World is the sequel to Thor, or the Avengers, if I want to be correct. It shows what happens to Thor afterwards. He has a completely new story. Malekith, the Dark Elf, has returned from so many years ago. He's back. He has this thing called the Ether, which controls many people, makes them unstoppable. Jane from the first Thor movie has it inside of her, so Thor has to find a way to get it out, and he can't do it alone, so he has to bring Loki along for the ride, and a bunch of awesome Thor stuff ensues. Now, Thor the Dark World, really looking forward to it because it's a Marvel movie. You know how I feel about Marvel. You saw my Iron Man 3 review, right? Good. Because Marvel honestly knows how to make good movies. DC Comics also knows how to make good movies. When I got into the theater of Thor the Dark World, I was like, okay, this is it. Thor the Dark World is going to hint at some really cool stuff, just like Iron Man 3. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be really, really awesome. It's going to be necessary in every single way. And it felt like filler. Honestly, it did. It did. Thor the Dark World felt like a big filler in my opinion. It didn't take away from the movie experience, but after watching it and being like, oh my gosh, it's so cool, after thinking about it, I was like, but was that any of that unnecessary? I mean, the Ether, there's a midway credit scene that I think we all know their credit scene, two post-credit scenes, so stay around for those two. But there's one that leads up to a film, Guardians of the Galaxy, but it has the Ether involved with it, but other than that, Thor the Dark World feels so much like filler. I mean, there's one plot twist, like, one you didn't expect, like, saith what? That's from Hizzy. But other than that, it feels like filler. It really does. And I really didn't want it to feel like filler because it's Thor the Dark World, for Pete's sake. I mean, Iron Man 3, even though technically it is filler, they had a story to go along with it. And did you see the ending of Iron Man 3? You see what Tony did? Yeah, that's gotta lead up to the Avengers. He's gotta refix that problem he just made. Natalie Portman was great as Jane. Selvig is back in this movie, really cool. But there's two characters I didn't really find necessary. One of them didn't really need necessary in the first movie either. Darcy, and there's a new intern for Darcy. Not funny. They tried to make it funny, like they're supposed to be the comic relief. Oh, that guy, something like that, but failed in ultimately every single way. Honestly, it did. Her jokes aren't funny. Intern isn't funny either. I mean, of course they're gonna make out eventually, and I think we all expected that when the movie started playing and they introduced him. So, they didn't really seem necessary. If they cut him out, this would have been a completely awesome, better movie. Malekith the villain is really good, but he's overshadowed by his colleagues and Loki. Loki is the boss, as usual, because, he's Loki, the god of mischief from, Thor, the Avengers, Thor the Dark World. I mean, he can't be topped. No one can top Loki. No one can top Loki. He's the best. Tom Hiddleston kills this Loki, my man. Well, my man, I don't know how to do that. The only real problem I have with the film, besides Darcy and the intern, is basically the first battle scene that they show, like, introducing the movie, kind of looks like a video game, like, video game graphics. Like, there's these, like, the ground looks, like, very video game-esque. And it kind of bugged me a little bit. But besides that, Thor the Dark World's a really fun movie. Of course, it's filler. Of course, the Darcy and intern, yeah. But besides that, and the PS3 graphics, I guess. But besides that, Thor the Dark World's a really fun movie. You should probably check it out. Get it on Blu-ray. I mean, you gotta lead up to the Avengers Age of Ultron somehow. I'm gonna give Thor the Dark World 4 out of 5. So guys, what did you think of Thor the Dark World? And if you could be any god of Norse mythology, Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, whatever, what god would you be? Comment below. Let me know. And that's gonna do it from me. See you next time for my review of The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. That card totally just ruined my whistle. Not that I can.